Hello everyone, welcome to Desire Gaming. In this video, I'm going to be showing you all of the best KO lineups and overall a guide for the map Fracture. If this video brings any value to you, please drop a like, subscribe, it lets me know that I'm doing a good job. I also highly recommend checking out the Valorant lineup spreadsheet that's in the description of this video. This contains all of the lineups that you'll see in this video and my many others. Just in case you're in mid-game and you want to quickly snap to the map and agent, that's what the spreadsheet is designed for. Highly recommend checking it out. And I've timestamped the rest of the video for the lineup, so enjoy. Now, Fracture is a very unique map, and it's very difficult if you're defending to use KO zeropoint efficiently, like through lineups, simply because of this giant building. There's not really any room to throw knives out, so most of these knives are going to be attacker side. However, there is a lot of pre-plant lineups in this video to cover for that, just so you can delay the enemy team from planting, cancelling the plan, or just getting a lot of damage on them. Okay, starting with KO zeropoint, we're on B site defending. Simply come to the B icon here, just stand in the center of it, and I like to do this early round or at the very start if I want to help out on A. Line up your grenade where mine is at the bottom of this pipe where there's grass. Throw your zeropoint, and this will land on the doors. It takes a few seconds, but what you'll find is by the time it lands, a lot of the enemy team have cleared this angle and they're just chilling in this area. That knife detects them and gives your team that information. If no one's here, then it's a good indication that they're probably pushing B. Okay, for the second lineup, if you're playing on attacker side, simply stand in this corner. Let's say you're pushing B. Now this text here, the second E, line up the bottom of your knife with that. Throw the knife. And then as you're pushing up to B main, this knife lands in a very special spot. It's so difficult for the enemy team to reach that, and it just gives you that extra advantage to push the site. Okay, another lineup if you're on attacker side bridge and you want to push B site. This is more to help your team from B main. Simply stand in this corner and put your grenade where mine is, just on that corner there. Throw your zeropoint, and this will land again in a very difficult spot for the enemy team to reach, and it just helps your team if they're pushing up B main. Now from attacker side spawn onto A site, if you want to get a knife on there, simply come to this sign right here. Again, just stand in the center of it, doesn't have to be perfect. And just around this little, I guess you can call it like a pipe, simply just put your flash around there, just in between these two. And throw your knife or your zeropoint, and this lands again in a difficult spot for the enemy team to destroy. It lands just on the roof. But it clears majority of the site if you look at the map. This is great if you've got teammates coming from drop and your team are pushing up from A main. Okay, from attacker side bridge, if you're pushing towards A site and you want to go through drop, stand in this corner, and at the start of the round, just put your ult where mine is, just on this little symbol, and just raise it a little bit higher, just about there. This doesn't have to be bang on, but if you throw your zeropoint as you're pushing up, this knife clears all of A drop, so you don't have to check this corner here. Yeah, it just gives you a free pass if no one's there. Okay, here's one for defending on B site. A lot of the time people fight on B main quite quickly as the round starts. The enemy team will push up all through here. So what I like to do is, let's say the barrier is here and here. You want to stand as close as you can into this corner, and you'll see this pipe right here. Simply put your crosshair in the corner of this door frame of this building, and you want to crouch. As soon as the round starts, you want to throw your knife, and this lands sideways into the pipe. And it's so difficult for the enemy team because they either have to fully do a 360 if they've pushed up, or people that are further back just simply can't reach it. And this just gives you all the information if it's a B main hit. Okay, now moving on to KO's fragment ability. Now with Fracture, because it's so unique and there's different paths, you can use these lineups for pre-plant if you're defending, or post-plant if you're attacking. This one, I like to use this when I'm defending. If I get pushed off site on B, I simply come to this spot right here, line up between these two boxes, and then put your fragment ability where mine is. There's like a pole here, just put it in the direct center of it, and simply just throw as they're pushing site, or you know they're going to start planting, and this lands directly on the default box. It also stops them from entering, I guess. It takes a little bit of damage off them. Most likely they will just replant here, but at least you can delay it, or if someone's taking cover behind the box and having a gunfight to mid, you know, that can do some damage to them. On the other hand, attacker side, you can simply play kind of off site and just hide behind these boxes. Once they about to tap, or you hear the tap, you simply just throw and then follow it up just with a few flashes. Okay, moving on to another plant on B site. If you get the bomb down behind this box, simply come back to this way to B main, and you want to hide in this corner right here, crouch, And then you see this last branch of the tree. Simply just put your crosshair between this part and this part. So this is like a bar, like a tube. You want to just keep it in the center. And you would think it would bounce off, but just the physics in this game, it will just go overhead. And then you can follow up to B main, throw some flashes. This just lands and simply delays the defuse. Okay, time for another lineup on B site for plant. If you're attacking and you get the spike down right here, this is kind of a last resort, but if you want to maybe play safe, or if you're rotating late from attacker side bridge, you want to come to B bench in this corner right here, stand. And then there's a nice little teddy bear with some sunglasses and a gun. Simply line up your HUD where mine is to match the gun in a way. And then you want to jump throw. Now I know jump throws are not accurate, so again I would use this as a last resort. Jump and throw the fragment at the exact same time, just so it goes as far as possible. Again, I wouldn't recommend purposely going out of your way to do this lineup. It's just if you're playing from attacker side late and the spike's down here, you can throw that molly and it will give you an extra bit of time to push site. Okay, now moving on to A site plant lineups. Again, this could be for pre-plant, post-plant. It really depends on how you play it. A really unique part about A site is it does have 2 floors, and KAYO's fragment ability is perfect for this because it does damage to both sides, so it'll get the enemies underneath and on top. Now let's start with the first one. If you're on A drop, simply stand in this corner right here. Let's say the spike has been planted on default. Line up your fragment ability between here and here in the center, and if you throw that, maybe just play off a little bit of time and this will land directly on and simply prevents anyone from touching the spike, gets them off. Also, if anyone's hiding behind these pillows here, makes them move. You can use this on general attack side as well. Doesn't have to be a post plant situation. Now from A ropes, if you've got the bomb down on default, or you're simply pushing through A doors and you want to clear A site with a fragment, simply stand in either this part or this part, just the center of the poles. So stand here, and they're kind of similar in lineups. This building right here, for this pole in particular, you want to aim at the center of this triangle right here. You don't have to jump or anything, just throw your fragment and this will land directly on top of the A site. This clears both floors. If you stand in the second pole, which is here, it's a bit more higher, so it wouldn't be the triangle, it'd be the top. Make sure you remember that. I prefer to throw it from the second pole as there's more cover on that side. Okay, now this is one of my favorite lineups. This is if you're defending and you want to retake A site. If the enemy team have just entered A site, this is perfect to use. This part of the ground here, it's like a little face, I guess. You want to stand just above it. It doesn't have to be as precise, just around this area. Just be very careful though, because the enemy team can still get you from this part. Simply stand where I'm standing and you'll find a big gap in the ceiling above you. You know where this is already going, but this cable, kind of a half circle, simply just put your crosshair in the center. It's very important that you crouch and put it in the center. Now, if you throw this, and then once it lands, if you peek out, all the enemies that are on site, if they're up here holding this part, or if they're underneath, this fragment reaches all of them. They all have to readjust. If they stick it out, they take a ton of damage. But also, that's not the end of it. What I like to do is I throw my molly, I stand directly here, and then I just simply throw my flash. And what this will do is as soon as the enemy team gets hit by the fragment, they jump off site. But more importantly, they look this way. This flash pops above. So again, just to be clear, simply just stand here and just aim your crosshair right about here. Throw your flash, it will bounce and pop directly above. Okay, since we just showed a KO flash, let's do some more. So this is if you're attacking on A site and you're on A drop. Simply stand around this corner. And you want to have some good communication with your team, or keep an eye on where they are on the map. If they're in A main, you'll find that it's very difficult for your teammates to kind of push out without some support from A drop. So what I like to do, simply just want to put your crosshair just around this area and hold W for a few steps and throw your flash over this. This bounces off this wall right here. The reason why you do this off this wall is because your teammates can't actually get flashed by this, simply because of this lip right here. So this is great if your team are in A main and they're trying to enter site. This will also prevent people from holding A link, as the flash simply pops off that. Okay, this is a flash to help your teammates get onto B site from B main. A lot of the time, the enemy team will place a smoke here, and my teammates just stare at each other until the smoke passes. In that situation, you just want to place yourself where I am on the corner of this building, and then where the leaves are, there's like squares, if you can see them here. I know it's not very easy to remember, but you want to put your fragment ability in the center of this one. I like to just go off the leaves, then the first one, which is here. Now, when you throw this flash, your teammate should push out. It's directly above them, so it shouldn't affect them. But this will cover B-Link, B-Arcade. It's just a nice little way to boost your teammates onto site. Okay, now from attacker side bridge, if you're wanting to push towards A drop, from my experience of A drop, there's always someone that's jiggle peeking this, and it's very difficult to just not have a 1v1 duel here. But if you have a teammate and you want a free way to clear A drop or a free kill, simply place yourself in the corner right here as far as you can, and then you want to aim your crosshair where mine is on the screen. There's like this little lip here around this tube. Put it right at the corner, and then once you throw this, it will bounce off the rock and pop. Where this pops is completely in the enemy's sight. It's very difficult for them to dodge this. Your teammate won't get touched by this flash, as they'll be around here when they're pushing. Either your teammate gets the free kill on the enemy, or the enemy simply runs back to site, and a flash has basically got you free entrance to a drop. Okay, that's all the lineups that I can share right now on Fracture as KAYO. There will be a link to the spreadsheet in the description where I'll keep updating them. If you have some lineups yourselves or some tips you want to share, feel free to join my Discord. But yeah, if this video brings any value to you, again, please let me know. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe. And if you want to see a particular map, let me know. I do plan on doing all maps and then moving on to a different agent and just eventually build up my YouTube channel. And yeah, once again, thank you for watching.